Hello and welcome to the LCTV News. I'm Mukala Kabongo. In this edition of the LCTV News, Manning Field Mural, Lynn Police Horse Dedication, Lynn Transit Action Plan, Pride Flag Raising Ceremony, Sit Down with Cinda, Dahn, and more. Over the weekend, the Agganis All-Star Ceremony began with the unveiling of the Manning Field Mural. The mural highlighted many of Lynn's football greats from Harry Agganis to Peter Pistol Pete Pedro. The mural, which is about 22 feet wide and 4 feet deep, is outside of Manning Field right next to the ticket window with photos of the great athletes the city of Lynn produced. The mural was part of the public art project from the downtown Lynn Cultural District. Lynn Cultural Council provided a grant that made it possible to complete the project. Mayor McGee, as well as other city officials, were on hand for the ceremony. Additionally, the mural shows a variety of former football players from the city of Lynn, including Dick Newton, Brian Vaughn, Ed Toner, Tony Thurman, Stu Primos, Arthur and Jeff Akers, and Stephon Gravely. The Big Sisters Association of Greater Boston selected Lynn resident Lauren Hall as the 2019 Big Sister of the Year. Hall, who has been a Big Sister for 7 years now, was chosen from a pool of over 2,000 Big Sisters. Hall, as well as the other candidates, were in the running due to their longevity and their standout volunteer work, as well as participation in Big Sister Boston-sponsored events. Hall and her little sister have grown their relationship since being matched in 2012. Hall says she became a Big Sister because she wanted to be involved in her community long term. The relationship Hall has with her little sister has helped them have a deeper connection, and as Hall says, they will be sisters for life. Union Hospital's emergency room is set to close down this fall in an announcement made by the North Shore Medical Center. In the announcement this past Tuesday, North Shore Medical Center says that they will be converting the emergency room into an urgent care center. Last month, North Shore Medical Center assured the city that the emergency room would be open until the spring when the new medical village opens. One of the factors that went into making this decision was trying to reduce the delay in patients being transferred to Salem Hospital. Ward 1 Councilor Wayne Losey and Fire Captain Joseph Zukas were not too pleased with the decision to close down the ER in the fall. Losey states that it is devastating that the city will lose its only hospital and wishes North Shore Medical Center would keep the ER open until the spring as they promised. The new emergency room in Salem Hospital, according to Captain Zukas, at this time does not have the ability to handle the amount of patients that the city of Lynn transports over there. Also, Zukas believes the impending closure of Union Hospital is putting a strain on the availability of ambulance service in the city. A proposal for a new pot shop was presented to the City of Lynn City Council during last week's council meeting. The proposed pot shop would be located on Western Ave. Heather Hannon, owner of Essex Apothecary, a cannabis retail business. Hannon's proposed boutique-style retail would have a gallery that would showcase work from local artists. If approved, the City Council would vote sometime in August to issue a special permit. Now for the police update. A Lynn man was arrested this past Tuesday afternoon on drug trafficking charges and firearm charges after police seized heroin, fentanyl, as well as other drugs at his home. John Carlos Oquendo was charged with trafficking over 10 grams of fentanyl, possession with intent to distribute heroin, Xanax, and marijuana, firearm possession with intent to distribute, firearm use in a felony, unlawful improper storage of a firearm, and reckless endangerment of a child. A search warrant was executed on 34 South Elm Street by Lynn Police Drug Task Force. There they seized 16 grams of fentanyl, 6 grams of heroin, over 500 Xanax pills, marijuana, 14 grams of a substance that is unknown to the Drug Task Force. $1,899 in cash and a firearm was also seized. According to Lieutenant Michael Kimmick, there were 2 children present during the search. On Tuesday, a Lynn man was sentenced to 12.5 years in prison for a 2017 overdose in which heroin was mixed with fentanyl that was sold to a Melrose woman, which caused her to overdose. In January, Jeffrey Reynoso pleaded guilty to conspiring to distribute approximately 100 grams of heroin as well as 40 grams of fentanyl in 2016 and 2017. Jeffrey also pleaded guilty to 6 counts of distributing heroin or fentanyl in 2017. Jeffrey will be under supervised release for 4 years. This was part of the plea deal that was reached in January. Early Thursday morning, 2 Lynn men were arrested on drug trafficking charges after heroin, fentanyl, and crack cocaine was found at their Elm Street home. Malik Alexander and Solket San were charged with Class A drug trafficking, 200+ grams, Class B drug trafficking, unlawful improper storage of a firearm, possession of a firearm without a firearm identification card. Alexander was also charged with malicious destruction of property. The Drug Task Force executed a search warrant on 54 Elm Street where they seized 283 grams of suspected heroin and fentanyl, 40 grams of suspected crack cocaine, more than $30,000 in cash, and an illegal firearm. The confiscated drugs had a street value of approximately $32,300. June is Pride Month. The city of Lynn held its Pride flag-raising ceremony at City Hall, and LCTV was on hand for the ceremony.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Great to be here. Great to be here with all my elected colleagues in elective office as well. Good evening, everyone, and I'm happy to welcome you all here today to raise the Pride flag here at Lynn City Hall in celebration of Pride Month and as part of North Shore Pride Week. I want to thank you all for joining us, including our state and local officials, councilors and state reps, Senator. And I want to especially thank Coco Ellising for reaching out and helping to organize this great event this year. Coco, thank you. Thanks for all your work to put this together.
My name is Madeline Law, and thank you. And I'm here to talk to you today about what Pride and what this month really means for me. And I think if I really had to summarize what Pride means for me, it would have to be looking back at how far this community has come and the people who have really paved the path for young people like me so that we can be out and proud and celebrating today. Also to really celebrate the identity that I have and the identities of everyone in the community, as well as looking forward to how I can help future generations. Coming out was a very hard thing for me. I had a very hard time figuring out who I was. And so that makes this month and Pride parades and celebrations and acceptance from local communities that much more important, because there are so many youth out there who are still struggling to figure out who they are. And so to know that they have the acceptance of communities around them, they can celebrate, they can think about those who've come before them, and they can think about the future is very important to me, and it makes me very proud to be here today. Thank you.
All right, everybody come in. Hold on, let's make sure everybody gets their hand in here. Come on. And we'll keep, all right? Everybody go. Come on. All right. Other way. Up this way. There we go. Come down. There you go. Like that. Everybody got a piece of it? Oh, yeah. The Greater Lynn Senior Services held its monthly In the Moment Memory Cafe. This is a monthly program which provides opportunities to network. LCTV sent a crew down to the Lynn Museum for the program.
Memory cafes are a concept that are popping up all over the country. It's a place where people come with their loved ones that have any form of memory loss or memory challenges. So we encourage family caregivers, friends, community members to accompany their loved one, and they come and they spend time together. We set up activities that are approachable for all different levels of cognitive decline. It's a really nice place for caregivers to meet other caregivers, for people with dementia or memory challenges to be around other people. We have been running this cafe for about 3 years now, and it's pretty well attended.
In the cafe, we don't talk about memory, we don't talk about disease, we don't talk about anything except trying to have fun, have some social interaction. The most important thing for families who are involved in caregiving and the person who has the memory problem is that they have opportunities to talk with other people and socialize in a very normal environment. Cafe is based on time for socialization. Couples make friends here. They have kind of sit with the same people sometimes, and we have nice little noshes for them and coffee. And then around half an hour into that, we usually have some kind of a programmed activity that appeals both to the caregivers and to the persons who have memory loss. And I want to tell you that if you ever visit us, you will not be able to tell the difference on who is who in this cafe.
Coming here is a great experience because you meet a lot of people with the same problems. You get coffee and fruits and desserts in the morning, and some place to get away from yourself, get away from the humdrum of life itself. It's very nice. When you interact, I mean, you're talking to other people, you find out that they have the same problems you have. And it's hard. It's hard to talk about, you know, the problems that you're experiencing through life, and especially with my wife. My wife is an Alzheimer's patient. She's had it for about 11 years now, and right now she's in a nursing home for about 10 or 11 weeks. And it's not a pretty sight to see. So, but other than that, I'm here, I'm alive, life goes on.
So we meet here at the Lynn Museum once a month, and it is the third Thursday of the month, and the cafe runs from 10 to 12, and you do not need to register, but if you get our flyer or if you want to know more, you feel free to give us a call, and all are welcome.
LCTV was on the scene at Ironbound Marketplace over the weekend for the Juneteenth Family Fun Day hosted by the North Shore Juneteenth Association.
Hello, my name is Nicole McLean. I'm the founder and president of North Shore Juneteenth Association. Every year since 2017, we've been holding the Juneteenth Festival, which is, Juneteenth is a state holiday that commemorates the freedom of African American slaves in 1865. So every year we intend to have a festival to commemorate that and to celebrate the Juneteenth holiday and to bring awareness to African American culture in a positive way and to bring awareness to African American people in a positive way. So that's what North Shore Juneteenth Association is all about, and that's what the celebration of Juneteenth is all about as well. Thank you.
City officials and residents took part in the regional forum where they got a walking tour of historical landmarks in the city of Lynn. LCTV was on the scene.
I think, in order to fully appreciate Lynn in today's context is to get a little bit of its understanding in its earliest iteration in its modern history. And it starts here. This is a 10 by 10 building. This would have been a typical type of structure you would have seen in and around Lynn, and maybe in the back of, today that have been probably a lot have been converted to garages. But back in the day, there would be something like this in the back of a house or on a piece of property somewhere. It was really a small room with maybe a potbelly stove or something in there, in which the family would, in the burgeoning days of the shoe industry, would gather and do their piecework assembly of shoes, sewing the leather uppers or the fasts to the soles and constructing shoes by hand. About 3 years ago, actually about a little over 3 years ago, as part of our first, is that challenge number one, it's test case number one, let's see if you make it, okay.
When we had applied for the Transformative Development Initiative, we looked at different areas within the downtown core that we wanted to have some additional attention placed on, and also because we felt they were really important areas within the city for potential future development opportunities. Where you're standing right now is one of those. And one of the reasons we selected it is in part because the building behind you is the former Lynn Item building. That building had housed our local daily newspaper for, about 100 years.
With food that originates from just about every continent on the planet right here.
LCTV was on hand at Lynn City Hall for the Transit Action Plan Advisory Committee meeting last Monday.
So in terms of our timeline, we will be conducting outreach and public engagement throughout the entirety of the year-long study. This advisory committee is a key part of our outreach. And as I think I mentioned to all of you, we'll be meeting about quarterly, but we'll also have different mechanisms and efforts that will engage different communities throughout Lynn, and to make sure that we hear from bus riders, from commuter rail riders, transit users, as well as other people that would like to use transit and feel like they can't right now. So we will definitely keep you in the loop about all of those efforts that go on throughout the year. In terms of the analysis, we'll have essentially 3 phases. The first phase is looking at what are the challenges and what is the network that we have now, where are the areas that are kind of ripe for particular improvement. And so that's what we call existing conditions. So we'll be looking at travel patterns on the public transit network, but also travel patterns outside of the public transit network to understand where are there potentially gaps in the system, where are there delays in our transit network, and where are areas that we can look at and investigate for to understand what strategies could make improvements. That phase overlaps, you'll see, with our identification of actual strategies for improvement. We know that there will be an iterative process.
To watch the full meeting, visit lyntv.org. Lynn Police Department held a horse dedication ceremony outside their Washington Street headquarters, and LCTV sent a crew down for the ceremony.
The horse is named Lynn Strong. Several years ago, 5 officers received a George Hanna Award for bravery, and the Horses and Heroes Foundation came to us and said they wanted to name a horse after these officers. Actually, John Bernard had been a recipient of the Hanna Award twice, and they were generally going to name the award after him, but he thought it should be named after all the officers, and they came up with the name Lynn Strong. So today's event was to name the horse. I thought it was a great event. I think it's an honor for the officers, the department, and the city. The name embodies the attributes of these officers: dedication to duty, professionalism under trying circumstances, courage and service to others, and I hope it brings about more service for others in the department. We're very pleased to be here today.
It's a great honor to be here today, and to have a horse dedicated to us is something that I personally never thought I'd see in my career. And, you know, to be named in the first place, the Trooper Hanna Award, to be named after someone who was killed in the line of duty is a great honor. You know, at the time you think you're just out there doing the job that everybody else is. You never expect to get an award like this. So it's a great honor, and, you know, I'm really very happy to serve with the people that I do here at Lynn Police Department.
It's a privilege to be here, privilege and an honor again to be named after having a horse named after all of us recipients. Named him Lynn Strong to represent the city itself and the community. Great community that we're in.
And hopefully we'll get down to D.C. to go meet him now that once he starts serving down there. Give us a reason to go
Absolutely,
down to DC now, so.
absolutely.
To watch the full ceremony, go to lyntv.org. A block party was held on Layton Ave this past Sunday to celebrate the life of Romel Dennis, who was killed last year. LCTV spoke with family and friends.
My name's Johnny Bryan. This is my mother. That's my brother. So his name was Romel Dennis. Last year, he basically got taken away from us, this location, and we decided to do this fundraiser to kind of change the city. Not let his voice die, not let his tragedy just die with him. The fundraiser is set up to help the Lynn Youth Center. The Lynn Youth Center is like a center to help troubled kids and kids that are going through trouble. It's basically they can go there, show up, do whatever, anything, use the internet, play video games, anything for free. We're gonna set up a 3D printing station also, so they're able to go and 3D print things, something new, something fresh that it hasn't been done around here. So we're raising money to help them out. It's not money for us, it's helping them create a better, safe place for Lynn. You know, if you feel in trouble, you don't want to be around your friends that are troublemakers, that place you want to go to. They're going to be there, they're going to be supportive, they're not going to tell you to change anything, they're just going to listen and basically help you with your problems. So that's what we want to do it for. So it's something that we're going to do it and we're going to help that place grow, and hopefully the city backs us up and everybody in general to help them grow also. Because they need our help, and without our donations and our helps, they can't do it. So this is what this is for. We want people to always remember him for his smile, for what he does, what he did, and you know, we just want everybody to come together and stop this stupid killing. It's just dumb. You know, people don't need to be doing this. You know, we lost somebody good, somebody that was always smiling, somebody that was always happy. We don't want to see another mother going through something like this, a brother like me going through something like this for no reason. So this fundraiser is for kids, so they can learn. Here, it's safe to do things, and we want to make it like this everywhere in Lynn.
Hey, all right. Let's go. Come on.
We're taking one step at a time. This is the first year anniversary for my brother, and then first year for this fundraiser, and we're gonna continue it every year. Every 23rd, June 23rd, we're gonna be doing this in this street. So whoever wants to support, whoever wants to come, whoever wants to be a sponsor to help us out and help the cause, we're gonna be here. So.
Time for ITM! Again, for those of y'all.
Now for the sports update. Congratulations to the St. Mary's baseball team on capturing the Division II state championship. The Spartans shut out Hopkinton 2-0 for its first state title since moving up to Division II. Jaron Coppola and Lee Pacheco hit RBI singles that brought in St. Mary's 2 runs. Pitcher Bobby Alcock pitched 7 shutout innings, striking out 8 batters. The Spartans finished the season 19-5. Again, this week kicked off over the weekend with the North and South baseball and softball games. In the All-Star softball game, the South defeated the North 6-5. Olivia McManus had a strong outing for the South, pitching 5 innings and allowing 1 run. Mercedes Pelletier earned MVP for the game. Pelletier went 2 for 2 with an RBI. Jordan Sullivan earned MVP honors for the North. In the All-Star baseball game, the South defeated the North 3-1. Kyle Ouellette scored the winning run for the North. Ouellette finished the day going 1 for 1 at bat. He earned MVP honors. Henry Checo won MVP for the South. In the All-Star basketball game, the South scored. In the All-Star basketball game, the South scored an 8-point victory over the North. The South were led by Alonzo Linton's 18 points and 6 rebounds. Jalen Echeverria of St. Mary's won MVP honors with his 15 points. Darrell Rucker also pitched in with 14 points. The South ended the game on a 15-0 run. Casey McLaren of Newburyport led the North with 14 points and 5 rebounds. McLaren won MVP for the North. It was a back-and-forth battle in the girls' basketball All-Star game. The North held on to a 54-48 victory over the South. Flannery O'Connor's 15 points led the South. O'Connor won MVP honors for the North. Peabody's Liz Zaytier poured in 11 points and 6 rebounds to earn MVP honors for the South. After the North took a 13-point lead early on, the South battled back to cut the North's lead to 6 at the half. The South would tie the game at 39 with 9 minutes left to play, but three-pointers from Catherine Noftel and Maddie Doyle extended the North's lead and secured the victory. The 24th annual Agganis All-Star Soccer Game saw the North girls defeat the South 2-0 at Manning Field. Goals from Catherine Manning and Haley Mignon were the difference in the match. Rockport goalie Alexandra Arndt and Beverly striker Jordan Butters won MVP honors for the North and the South. The boys' All-Star Soccer Game saw the North All-Stars defeat the South 2-1. Josh Rubin of Masconomet scored 2 goals in the match to win MVP honors. Rubin's first goal came just before halftime when he found the back of the net with 15-17 to go in the half. Rubin's second goal came late in the second half to seal the game. The South would score their lone goal with 2:15 left in the game when Julio Cora capitalized on a nifty assist from Olu George. Cora was MVP for the South. In the 58th edition of the Agganis All-Star Game, the North All-Stars escaped with a 20-14 victory over the South last night at Manning Field. Jalen Echeverria of St. Mary's won MVP honors for the South, and Max Friedman of St. John's Prep won MVP honors for the North. Friedman had a game-high 6 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown. Echeverria had an interception and a key 2-point conversion to cut the lead down to 6. The North jumped out to a quick 7-0 lead behind Danvers' Brendan Tracy's 9-yard touchdown run. Friedman would haul in a 31-yard touchdown pass from Tracy to extend the lead to 13-0. Adam Bowler of Arlington would hit Echeverria on a 44-yard pass to set up an 18-yard touchdown pass from Bowler to Swampscott's Connor Lynch to make the scores 13-6 at the half. The North would score on a 1-yard touchdown run by Peabody's Louis Garritti to make the score 20-6 in the third. The South would then go on to score a 28-yard touchdown pass from Ballard to St. Mary's Connor Donahue, and Echeverria's 2-point conversion cut the lead to 20-14. But a late fumble recovered by Friedman sealed the victory for the North. On this week's Lynn Lowdown, we sat down with Faces of Lynn magazine founder Cinda Dahn. Here is this week's Lowdown. Welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. We got a special guest. We have Cinda here. She brought us a little something. If we could get a little up close on this one. Faces of Lynn magazine, they had their launch last week. What's going on?
Not much, just kind of, working on the next issue, honestly.
I'm trying to get on the next issue because apparently I was going through this and I don't see myself here. Me or Kay aren't on here, but we see Seth. So I guess that cancels that. So let's talk about Faces of Lynn. What's the story behind Faces of Lynn?
Yeah, sure. So in high school, I went to Raw Artworks. I studied, I did the reel-to-reel program there, which is where I fell in love with still image photography. And after graduating, I knew that I wanted to bring Lynn and photography together. But I knew that I didn't want to just capture architecture. I wanted something that was going to uplift the community. So after I saw Humans of New York do it, I was like, oh, okay, this is something that I can bring together. Yeah. So in 2013, I started actively thinking about how can I do this? Do I want a digital platform? Do I want to make it into a book? Do I want just like an Instagram or a Facebook page to it? But I knew that I wanted it to live outside of a digital platform. I think there's a big difference when something is digital versus printed. Yeah. Like if I took a photo of you on your cell phone and send it to you is a lot different than if I got it, printed it, and framed it and handed it to you. I think there's more value and meaning to it. And so after many years of thinking of which kind of platform I wanted to do this, I decided a magazine is something perfect to kind of get cozy with. It's like a coffee table magazine where you can read stories about folks that you would have never met otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. And you have a very diverse amount of people in here, ranging old, young, male, female. So what was the idea of you when you started picking who you wanted to be in the magazine?
At first it was really hard because I was working full-time. I mean, I'm still working full-time, but trying to balance that and meeting people. I kind of went with like folks that I saw that were active in the community, whether it was through Facebook groups or whether it was like through a referral of a friend. I want to highlight folks that either have like a really great story, compelling story, or folks that are actively creating positive changes in the community.
Yeah, definitely. And I see you have some of Alex's cousins in here. What was that experience like working with the young kids?
It was great. They were excited. Sometimes I ask people when I interview them, like, what is something that people don't normally know about you, or what is something that you want people to know about you? And Leilani answered that she got new shoes and she wanted people to know that. And if you go to one of them, you can tell it's just matte fresh.
You also got Mayor McGee in here. Oh, what was that? How was that experience with speaking with Mayor McGee?
It was good. It was good. Photographing him was good. He was just kind of like, what do I do? But it was fine. And we kind of had to, like, for that one specifically, we had to like rush with like sunset because it was like earlier in the fall, but the sun was setting a lot earlier, so we were rushing with time.
Yeah, definitely. Now, when you had your launch, how happy were you when the launch happened? The turnout that you had for the launch.
Yeah. So I spent like at least 5 to 6 months planning each release party and making sure that I have local vendors or DJs, photographers, and MCs, and I think the turnout was just so overwhelming. I don't think I came down from the stress and management of the event until like 3 days after. Just because, like, when you host something, you just kind of feel all the anxiety making sure everything goes right. But it was so beautiful. The community came out and supported one another. If it wasn't me, it was their friend that was like either performing. I had local artists, singers, rappers. I had folks that were painters come and exhibit their work, and photographers to exhibit their work as well.
Yeah. Now, where can people get the copies of this magazine?
Oh, just exclusively through me. So you have to interact with me if you want one.
Come on now, we gotta get it. We gotta get it everywhere. You can't just be exclusive. We gotta put it out there. How many copies did you have so far? How many people have came up to you just requesting it?
Oh my gosh. I feel so bad that they're sold out, but these are reserved for somebody. This is reserved for Jo Beth, actually, who you're looking at. Because the night of the release party, she had surgery and couldn't make it, and I told her I would reserve a copy.
Yeah, I'm about to not have a copy. I'm about to get this. I don't know, but this is definitely looking good. So where do you go from here? What's next with the next phase of the magazine? How many are you releasing it monthly or?
It's going to be semi-annual, so twice a year.
Twice a year. So where should we expect the next part?
The first weekend of July, I'll be collaborating with Ironbound, working with Justice Bourne or Justin Morley. So we're excited for that.
Yeah. Now, how do you go to figuring out which individuals that you're gonna for the next part?
So it's crazy because now I have a queue of people. So I have people that are lined up for Faces of Lynn 4 already. And I'm already working on the 3rd issue. Okay. So every single weekend, early in the morning, starting at like 7 a.m., I'm out photographing and interviewing.
All right, this is definitely good. And also, what's next for you? What are the other projects that you got going on besides this?
Faces of Lynn.
Faces of Lynn. Nothing else? No. Nothing else we should know about? Nothing else you want to plug?
No.
No,
that's all I got.
That's all she got. Faces of Lynn.
Wait.
We got a few songs.
That's the first one.
It's the first one that I'm not on it either. So, here, second one is on here. So she got 2 out. They both were sold out by now, I think. Yeah, so this is kind of sad. So I don't know. Cinda she came here, didn't bear no gifts. These ones are getting given away, and yeah, so that's that. But I mean, lastly, I mean, this is all great and stuff. So for those that are interested or those that want to know more about you and the Faces of Lynn, where could they go to find out more information?
Oh my gosh. So I don't even have a Facebook page for this. I don't have an email address for it. It's just, honestly, you're gonna have to talk to me. You can email me at cinda.dahn@gmail.com, or you can call me or text me at 978-395-7503.
We need to get her a marketing team.
Because literally, this is all me. Like, I don't have a team that goes out with me.
Yeah. I think that's one thing we gotta work on. We gotta get Cinda a marketing team. So anybody that's good in marketing that wanna volunteer their time to help Cinda out, so she doesn't have to be a one woman band, get to her. But social media, plug your social media if they want to contact you.
You can find me at Cinda Dahn on Facebook.
That's it? No Twitter, no Instagram, no nothing?
I have a Twitter. It's Miss Nope, ms.knope.
All right.
Like Leslie Nope.
Instagram, Snapchat?
That was my Instagram.
Okay, there you go. All right.
And wait, so I'm also happily taking referrals. If you know obviously I can't meet all 92,000 residents in Lynn, but I'm happy to take referrals. If you know somebody, I just wish there was somebody in this room that I could interview. Happy to take referrals. That's all.
All right, Cinda. Well, thank you for coming along. Thank you for coming down to share with us once again. Faces of Lynn, this is like the last copy, so July is the next one, so be prepared for that one. Everybody make sure you support her and all that she's doing. So Cinda D.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. You guys been watching the Lynn Lowdown. We are out of here. Now time for some upcoming local events. On Saturday, June 29th, the Flex Pond Association will be hosting a cleanup of the pond beginning at 9 a.m. on the Lakeview side. Residents are all welcome to help assist in the cleanup. On Sunday, June 30th, the second annual GP Pie-a-thon will be taking place at Gowdy Playground from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. The Pie-a-thon is free to the public. Raffles, refreshments, and plenty of games will be available for attendees. The Fruit Project's Lynn Farm Share will be taking place at Ernie's Harvest Time on Essex Street on Tuesday, July 2nd from 3:30 until 6:30 p.m. At the Farm Share, there will be freshly harvested produce grown locally in the city of Lynn. For students, they have the opportunity to learn about sustainable food system and social justice. The 9th annual Frederick Douglass speech reading will be taking place on July 3rd from 6 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. at High Rock Tower. Food, music, as well as free pony rides will be some of the highlights during the reading. The night will end with the annual City of Lynn Fireworks Show and Concert. The fireworks show and concert is set to begin at 7:30 p.m. and go on until 9:30 p.m. The Sluice Pond Association will be holding its annual 4th of July boat ride beginning at noon. The parade is set to last until 1 p.m. LCTV's next Paramount film series will take place on Monday, July 8th. The movie choice for July is Big Hero. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Movie begins at 7 p.m. Free popcorn and beverages will be available to those in attendance. Thank you for watching the LCTV News. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us at lyntv.org to watch any show anytime on your computer, tablet, or phone. I'm Mukala Kabongo. Have a great day.